So that's the biggest thing I can tell you, is just being aware of what's going on around you and then reporting something that you think needs to be reported, even if you feel it's a joke or something like that. Let us look into it. If we end up looking into something and it ends up being a joke or turning into nothing, we're perfectly okay with that. That's a lot better than us having to look into it after the fact because something happened. So 3 things you can do in an active shooter situation if something like this happens is run, hide, and fight. Those are your best options and your only options in any kind of situation like this, and you want to do them in that order. If you can run away from a situation, if you can get out of a building, out of the area, something like this is happening, emergency exit, bust a window and get out of a building, anything like that, that's what you want to do. Get yourself out of the situation. If you can't run, let's say we're in this classroom, something is happening out there in that courtyard or that main corridor or in this study area right here, us trying to run out is going to bring us through that incident, that situation, because I don't think, these are all just little classrooms, I'm pretty sure, little study rooms. So we'd want to barricade. We want to barricade in one of these little rooms, put chairs up against doors, lock every door that we can so nobody can get into us, so that situation doesn't come to us. If we can't run and we can't hide, the situation either starts where we're at, it comes into the classroom that we're in, studying in, comes into your office area, and you have to fight, and that's your only way out. You need to commit to what you're doing, and you need to fight through that situation, fight that individual, so you can get out of that situation and you get to go home. What I have here is I've got a video that FBI made with the police department down in Houston. It's about 5 or 6 minutes long. It kind of puts those options into context of how they work in an active shooter situation. Again, it's a taped video of a gentleman walking around with a shotgun. He will fire that shotgun, and then it'll kind of go through the options of what you need to do and what you can do. And like I said, it's only about 5 minutes long.
It may feel like just another
Everybody
day at
here
the
okay?
office. But occasionally, life feels more like an action movie than reality. The authorities are working hard to protect you and to protect our public spaces. But sometimes, bad people do bad things. Their motivations are different. The warning signs may vary, but the devastating effects are the same. And unfortunately, you need to be prepared for the worst.
So unfortunately, it's how quick they can happen and how quick they escalate.
If you were ever to find yourself in the middle of an active shooter event, your survival may depend on whether or not you have a plan. The plan doesn't have to be complicated. There are 3 things you could do that make a difference. Run, hide, fight. First and foremost, if you can get out, do. Always try and escape or evacuate, even when others insist on staying. Encourage others to leave with you, but don't let them slow you down with indecision. Remember what's important, you, not your stuff. Leave your belongings behind and try to find a way to get out safely. Trying to get yourself out of harm's way needs to be your #1 priority. Once you are out of the line of fire, try to prevent others from walking into the danger zone and call 911.
So running, again, it's your best option. It's the first option you want to take. If you can get yourself out of this situation. In the video, they heard shots being fired upstairs, heard some people screaming. They're able to get to an emergency exit and out of the building. I'd get a little further away from the building if I was them, but they at least got out of the building and out of the situation. Evacuate whether others agree to or not. Don't second guess yourself. Don't let other people try to make you second guess yourself. If you heard something, let's say you heard it upstairs, you heard something down the hall, and you think that was gunshots and you want to get yourself out of the building, tell people, this is what I heard, I'm leaving. If they're like, no, are you really sure that what you heard? Let's go check. Just get yourself out of the building. If you end up being wrong and it wasn't gunshots and it was just something else you heard, all you did was go outside and get a little fresh air, and then you can come back inside and get back to your work. Take a little break. So again, don't let somebody second guess yourself. Leave your belongings behind, help others escape if possible, and prevent others from entering the area is very important, especially on a college campus. Especially in a building like this, there's so many entrances and exits to this building. So if something's happening on the south side and you run out into that link area, there could be people coming in the north, still have no idea, oblivious to what's going on inside the building. So trying to stop people from coming inside as you're coming out is very important. And then obviously call 911 when you're able to do so, and it's safe for you to do so. Tell them what you saw, what you heard, anything like that, anything pertinent.
If you can't get out safely, you need to find a place to hide. Act quickly and quietly. Try to secure your hiding place the best you can. Turn out lights, and if possible, remember to lock doors. Silence your ringer and vibration mode on your cell phone. And if you can't find a safe room or closet, try to conceal yourself behind large objects that may protect you. Do your best to remain quiet and calm.
Hiding, barricading, your next option. If you can't leave the facility, you couldn't leave the area because it's happening out in that hallway, out in that main corridor. Barricade yourself in a conference room, in a classroom, in an office. Put anything and everything you can find in front of that door so it can't be opened. This door would be a little difficult to do that because it opens out. So we could put a bunch of stuff in front of it, so when somebody tries to open the door, at least they have to traverse through a bunch of other stuff that we just put in front of the door. The premise behind hiding or trying to evade them is if they can't find you, they can't hurt you. You know, an active shooter situation is generally over anywhere from 3 to 9 minutes these days. That the individual that is harming somebody is going to be confronted by some sort of resistance, some sort of law enforcement within 3 to 9 minutes. So in their head, they've got 3 minutes to try and do what they wanted to do. So they're not going to waste a bunch of time trying to break down a locked door or break down a dark room where they don't hear anything and they don't see anything inside. They're just going to move along and to where they do hear people or where they can find more people, because that's what they're trying to accomplish, is to find people to harm. So if they can't find you, they can't hurt you. So barricade, turn the lights off, silence the ringer on your cell phone. You know, turn off don't be on your phone because that just illuminates light inside the room. And just try to hide out there until they move on by. Like you saw in the video, the young lady pushed the printer up against the door, turned off the lights, turned off her cell phone, locked the door. The individual that's walking around looking for people tries the door, it's locked, he keeps on walking. He doesn't hear anybody, doesn't see anybody. He's not going to waste time trying to break down that door to see who's inside, because in his mind he's only got a few minutes to try and accomplish what he wanted to accomplish. Does that make sense?
As a last resort, if your life is at risk, whether you are alone or working together as a group, fight. Act with aggression. Improvise weapons. Disarm him. And commit to taking the shooter down, no matter what.
not gonna show you them beating the crap out of the guy either. They don't wanna show you that, you can use your imagination of what's gonna happen. But again, it just, it shows you what you need to do if the situation comes to you. It comes into your office, into your classroom, that individual's walking in with a shotgun. What are you gonna do to get yourself out of that situation so you stay alive and so you get to go home? You need to fight that individual, you need to incapacitate him, kill him, whatever you need to do, so you get yourself out of that situation and you get to go home that day. Improvise your weapons. Anything you can pick up can become a weapon at that point. Chairs, tables, fire extinguishers. What else could he do with that fire extinguisher? Spray them, because what are they gonna see? Absolutely nothing. So spray them with that fire extinguisher and then bash them over the head with it, because they're not gonna see it coming then. I've had a lot of questions that if this happens and we incapacitate them, we kill somebody or something that comes in with that shotgun, what do? We take that weapon away from them and go put it in, whether you want to put it in another office, or put it in the corner of the office, put it under the table, put it in a drawer, do something to keep it away from the individual that did have it. You don't want to go walking around with that shotgun or with that rifle or with that handgun and say, I took it away from this individual, and start waving it towards the cops and say, he's in here, I took the gun away from him. That may not end well